Okay, guys, we are ready to finish off our hat. What you would need to finish off is one of these needles that you should have got in your pack with the looms. If not, it just needs to be a needle that has an eye big enough for you to thread the yarn through to finish off, and quite a big one is helpful. Some people have them with a hooked end. They look really good actually. I feel like I should get one of those. And then you need your loom knitting tool, and you need quite a bit of yarn left. And yeah, so what we want to do is, right, we want to take one of these stitches off completely. Make sure you can see. So we're going to take it off, and then we're going to bring it over without dropping it. And this is kind of hard because I'm trying to keep it on camera for you guys. And then we're going to try and just put it over this one. There we go. If it does come off completely, you can kind of save it. They don't unravel that easy, especially with this yarn. They don't unravel that easily. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to knit that off over like that. Pull that a little bit. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to count 6 pegs going in clockwise, so it'll be right to left. It's clockwise, isn't it? So we want to count 6 pegs. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, starting with the blank one. 6 pegs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to take the 7th row, the 7th stitch, and we're going to put it on the 6th peg. So these are a bit tight, so I might find it a bit difficult. See, I was saying earlier about making them tight. There is a way you can kind of, if you unravel it like that, kind of like untwist it, it does make it a little bit easier to go on. And I'm making it look like more of a meal than it is because I'm trying to keep it on camera for you guys. Okay, so we got it over there now, and we're gonna knit it off like so. Then count 6, starting with the next blank peg. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna take the 7th. Can you see that? Take the 7th off. See, I've lost that one there. So you can see it doesn't quite unravel. If I try and show you there. Can never get my angle right. The cat is meowing. So it doesn't quite come off, so you can easily hook back in like so and move it over to the peg. I think I've lost, oh there we go, there's another bit there that needs to come over as well. See, this is the problem of using the double thickness yarn. Okay, we got both strands there. Can you see them? Okay, and we're going to knit this over. I'm not feeling so great today. I had my MS treatment yesterday. And I always have sinus problems anyway. I probably mention every video I've got a cold, or I've got the sniffles, or I've got something. But yeah. So yeah, so sorry guys, so my voice keeps going a bit, and then also I'm just feeling a bit rubbish from my treatment yesterday, but I'd finished knitting and I was like, oh, I want to finish the hat off, so I'm gonna get the camera out and try and finish it off, hopefully. So yeah, so where were we? Right, okay, so blank peg, count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 7th. I'm going to try and carry over more successfully than I've been carrying over the other ones. I am going to twist it a little bit because that does make it easier. Okay, and then we'll knit that off and then count 6 again. So can you guys see if I show you, try and show you what it looks like? So there's the guide peg, and then they're knitted on either side. And then we've been going around this way. And so I'm gonna knit the way we usually will, but I'll sort of knit off going in the opposite way. I don't know if that's confusing for you guys or not. So yeah, I mean, if you ever have any problems, just send me a message or leave a comment and we'll figure it out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to knit, we're going to wrap on the yarn, the same that we've been doing, but we're going to miss the blank pegs. So I'm going to go the same way. So we're going to knit around. Oh, I just did the blank peg. If you do the blank peg, that means we just like, that row is still there, it's not reducing. So yeah, so we're going to miss that one. Ignore me. Don't do what I just did. We're missing the blank peg. So, right, there's the blank peg, we're going to miss it. Don't worry about this long bit of yarn, it does kind of condense down when we take it off the loom. So, and then we're going to go around and we're going to knit them off in the same way that we've been doing. I don't know if that's on camera very well. So these ones that you've just done, so there's the missed one. These ones that you've just done, you can do a little bit looser, so it makes them easier, because we're going to carry over another one or two. I've got a bit more yarn left than I think, so I think we can do a couple of rounds of reducing the pegs. I feel like ideally we want about 3 of the rounds to reduce the pegs, and then that should make it kind of so there's only half the pegs are in use, theoretically. I'm trying to think. That's about what it's been when I've done it on the bigger looms, because I don't use this loom very often, but because of the type of wool, I feel like this loom is a bit better. So there's the peg. I'm gonna knit it off. How excited are you guys that we're nearly done and you don't have to be wrapping and knitting anymore? Because this is a really long hat. You've got to think, usually a hat will be about, I don't know, about that long. So we've done a good, like, more than double what you would do for a normal hat design. So maybe if we do a hat again, it'll be a much easier one. Okay. So we're back again. We're going to go, so what we're going to do now is, what we want to do is we want to find the first blank peg. So there's our guide peg. Our first blank peg is here to the left. And then what we want to do is find the first knitted peg after the blank peg, then go to the 1 over again, and then we're going to take it off and twist it and put it back on, this one, and then we knit that off. And then we should be doing the same thing again, so counting 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll be where we need to be. So on the 6th peg we take the 7th off, oh, this is tight, and wrap it, not unwrap it, and twist it. So I'm losing my words today as well. So put it over and knit it off. Hope you guys can see okay, because I'm kind of watching what I'm doing, so, so I don't know if it's working or not. I kind of keep checking what the camera is looking like, but I might be missing it a little bit. I'm sorry. I'll find out when I edit it and probably think, oh, this is really awful. So right, 6 from the new blank peg. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7th we're going to take off. Oh, I did these too tight. And twist, which makes them a lot easier to move them over. And knit off. So now we're going to do the same again. We're going to wrap on the pegs, missing the blank pegs. So we'll wrap, wrap, miss, wrap, miss, wrap, 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 miss, wrap, miss. Okay, so now we've got sets of 3 and we're just going to take the middle one and put it over there. So we'll do that and twist. I think it might be a bit looser. So now you can see if we go back to the guide peg, they are all alternate knitted and not knitted, which is great. And then we're going to, I've got quite a bit left actually. I probably could have done another couple of rows, like big rows, and then knitted off. So rule of thumb is to get enough wool to finish off. You don't need this much wool, but this is enough to be safe. So you want to wrap it all the way around 1.5 times. So if we take it to there, can you see? Can never figure out. Okay, that's like 1.5 times. So we're going to cut it by there. Should have probably said you needed scissors as well. I didn't think I need scissors though. I didn't think I would have used all of that, to be honest. I thought all of that was going to be gone in finishing off. So I don't know. Take it a bit bigger if you want, but to be safe, you're better off having some wool left over. So I'm going to come back here. And then we're going to get our big eye needle, which is a lot easier to thread with normal yarn because it's not all fuzzy. There we go. Okay. Well, I don't know if I did that on camera or not. You understand what I did though, don't you? You just put the yarn through the needle. There we go, left quite a bit off the end. Okay, and then what we want to do is we're going to bring, so we're going to start off with this one because this is where the yarn is at the moment, is on this peg. So there's the guide peg, and so it's on the peg, which would be the last peg that you would be knitting on the rounds. And we're going to thread this up and through. Like so, and then we'll go to the next one and thread it up and through, and then we're going to do that to all of them. You don't have enough left to do 1.5 rounds, have the long bit of yarn left over. When you've got a little bit, we don't actually need much to finish off the top of that. So if you want to put it through, and then if you pull the stitch off, then as you go around you can pull it a bit tighter, so pull it as it will be finished. So long as you don't lose the like in there, lose the stitch. So you pull it off like that as you go around it. Now just to show you, pull it off, put it through, and then as you've got more, you can kind of pull them together tight. Does that make sense? I don't know why you can ask me if it makes sense. You can answer right now. So there we go. I usually do pull them off myself as I pull this around, because it saves time, but just if this is your first hatch and you want to do it safely, then just put it all the way through and then we'll pull all the stitches off afterwards. Okay, we're nearly there. And then we're back at the guide peg, and then what we want to do is we just want to put it through this first stitch that we put it through, which was the last stitch on the rounds. So you've made a whole loop, and then we're going to go around and pull off the stitches. You can use the tool if you need to take them off, but at this point it's quite easy just to do it with your fingers. The ones I took off earlier, and then we're on the last ones. There we go. And then the hoop is free. Okay. Okay, so now we have this this big bit of knitting. It's so nice and soft and puffy. This is going to be so nice to wear. So exciting. Okay, so what we want to do is we actually want this kind of inside out. So this would be how it is inside out now. So if you're doing other hats, so we're just going to put, I'm not going to pull it too tight because because I don't want to snap the yarn. It's quite strong, but if you start pulling it with tension, it can snap. So we've pulled it, I'll kind of try and undo it again. So we've pulled it all in together like so. You can see now, try and get my camera to okay, so you've got like, try and make it so it's kind of like a head. So yeah, so you can see how bumpy it is. So it'd be a lot more bumpy if you had left, if you hadn't finished off, hadn't reduced those stitches. So when that's on your head, that'll sit a lot more, a lot neater, and won't have like this big bump at the top. So now we want to just make sure it's secure. So if we just take it through, there's no like real, it's just to make sure that it's secure. There's no real technique to this. Just make sure there's a few knots, like so. And I just put it through there. And I do it so it just kind of makes a knot. Does that make sense to you guys? And then I'm just gonna do one more. Sorry, I'm lying. I'll do another one. I'm gonna leave this there for now, in case we need to tighten up any more. I've done one of the hats before, but not completely. It wasn't the right pattern, so, and I didn't do it long enough because I did it a kind of a thicker, I don't know, I suppose you'd call it a weave. So what we want to do now is put it inside out. So that's how it came off the loom, and we're going to put it inside out, and you can see it's all finished now at the top. And what we're going to do is we're going to just don't worry about this bit for now either. I would leave this bit for now, and we'll hide it in just in case for the future. And then we're just gonna try and fold it up in the same way that Suga does his, and I'm gonna hide that in there. You can cut it off, or you can thread it through. Okay, so there we go. There is Sugar's puffy blue hat.